Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. I have to counterpunch something now. I want to talk to you guys about Mikey Garcia and Mikey Garcia's comments. Mikey Garcia, is set to fight Earl Spence next weekend at Jimmy's World in Arlington, right? And he states that he will beat Earl Spence every round. It's a bold prediction, very bold prediction. But one thing that interests me is what he said afterwards. He said that I will beat Earl Spence round by round because I have a better IQ. I have a better ring IQ. I'm a little bit better in every area, except for power. Okay. And he was asked about Terence Crawford. He says, well, Terence Crawford, his ring IQ didn't go up from the smaller weight classes. Mine did. I will beat Earl Spence. So, first of all, let me give you guys a backstory about Mikey Garcia and Terence Crawford. For those who don't know, these guys fought in the amateurs. Now, supposedly, Mikey, according to Mikey Garcia, Terence Crawford was a boring fighter, right? Or he was a running fighter, but he was able to beat Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia explained in detail how he ran around the ring and didn't really fight. And he's a boring fighter. That's why he chose to fight someone like Earl Spence. Well, of course, Terence Crawford rebutted and told and then, pretty much put him on blast. Like, if I did that, you have the footage, show everyone. Okay. So let's let that there. So these guys been beefing back and forth. So it's this kind of underhanded, low-key beef between Terence Crawford and Mikey Garcia. It's been that way for the longest time. And it hasn't been because of Terence Crawford. It's been because of Mikey Garcia. My only question is why? Why is it that Mikey has these things to say about Terence Crawford? You know what I mean? He does. He's a great fighter and all this, but I just think that he's a boring fighter. I think he's run. His style's all wrong for me. I don't want to chase nobody to fight. I want someone to bring the fight to me. That's me. I believe I'm the best in the world. That's why I challenge to be great. That's why I'm fighting Earl Spence. You know what I mean? But I'm like, you had many opportunities to fight someone like Terence Crawford, but the style was all wrong for you. Was it the style all wrong for you, or was the style too challenging for you to want to accept taking a L? That's the question you ask yourself. And for what Mikey Garcia said was, well, his ring IQ didn't go up. How didn't it go up? What do you mean, with Jeff Horn stopping him? With Jose Benavidez stopping him? His IQ didn't go up? No. But his did. First of all, this is a guy that has never fought at 147. And he's making some bold-ass predictions. So this is some one hell of a confident guy. I got to tell you. And, and he really, he's really adamant on beating him round for round. I would be highly impressed with Mikey Garcia if he'd done that. However, if he beats Earl Spence, mind you, if he beats Earl Spence, sure, his profile will raise, his stock will raise, he will be higher on the pound for pound list, definitely. All those things will apply if that happened, okay? He'll probably join the Zone because remember, he has a deal in play with the Zone, a 5-fight deal, right? A lot of people forget about that, but he does. And then, if he beats Earl Spence, boom, he can just jump right on that train, that streaming line train, like everyone else is doing or seem to be doing. So, yeah, that could happen. That very well could happen. But you're looking at a person that beat Earl Spence, but if, like I said, if you dissect Earl Spence, besides being big, powerful, and a pressure fighter, or a pressure boxer puncher, rather, people will then start to look back and really analyze Earl Spence's resume. Like, well, damn, Mikey Garcia beat him. Okay. It'll look more impressive than it really is, honestly. Because the guy that Mikey Garcia is fighting should be Terence Crawford. It shouldn't be Earl Spence. I'm going to tell you why. Because how many times have you heard Mikey Garcia criticize Earl Spence for the things that he does or for the lack of? You don't. Because you don't complain about a fighter that you want to use his name or the fact or the idea of beating him as a come up, as a flaw. You wouldn't do that. That's why he never said anything about Earl Spence. You know, and if he beats Earl Spence, that's bold all by itself, because Earl Spence is one bad motherfucker. And he's bad as according to the fighters that he's fought. Okay? So we have to keep that right there in that perspective. A lot of people say he's going to kill him, he's going to batter him. I think so. But then again, there's a part of me that says, like, okay, why is Mikey so damn confident? He's really confident about beating Earl Spence. You talking about beating somebody round for round. But I guess that's how you would fight a guy like that. Round per round. Because he knows in any given time, or at a certain point of time, Earl Spence is going to come in with that fucking pain. He's going to start to chop like he did Kell Brook eventually. And Kell Brook was a much bigger guy. Just as quick as him and everything. But, eventually he came with those bows. He was throwing them bows. He was dropping bows on them. And then that kind of caught with Kell Brook. Kell Brook did counter good, though. He countered with a jab. It was a good back and forth fight. And, we can sit here and analyze, and Kell Brook beat Sean Porter, but, it stops right there. Because Earl Spence never fought Sean Porter. So, but no, I feel that if he beats Earl Spence, he has to see Terence Crawford, because he's talked too much shit about him. And then let's see if Mikey Garcia has the balls to take on Terence Crawford, unlike Earl Spence. Because at that point, Earl Spence won't be a champion, so it really won't matter. Earl Spence would have been exposed by a higher opposition of fighter, a higher caliber of fighter. He wasn't really tested, and a lot of things will come into play. And then what will happen, people will fear Earl Spence no longer if that happens. But from all the shit talk, all the trash talk that Mikey Garcia is doing, and he fucks around and beats Spence, he has to see Terence Crawford. He has to be accountable for his words and actions, because he's talking too boldly. He's talking about Terence Crawford's skill set and ring IQ. It didn't go up. Okay? If you feel that way, don't just say that shit just because you want to make someone look bad so you won't have to fight them. No, fight them and show everybody what you mean by what you just said. That's what I want to know. That's what I got to counterpunch, because that type of shit, if you're talking that big shit about Terence Crawford, one of the pound for pound further than you on the list, number 1 and number 2, right? You have to fight that person. Fuck the belt, fight for the pound for pound. Why not? Let's do it. Let's see it. So let's see if Mikey Garcia can stop Terence Crawford, especially if his ring IQ hasn't went up, right? You should beat him easily, because you've carried yours from 135 to 140 to 147. Your shit's went up unlike his, so you got an edge. You've already beat a bigger guy of Earl Spence. So let's have it. Let's make that fight happen. Super fight, Mikey Garcia and Terence Crawford, if he beats Earl Spence. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.